Okay, all right, we're recording over there. We're starting over here, and let's begin. Okay, how you doing, Josh?
Very well,
Thank you. Okay.
thank
So,
you.
so you like how much the revenue management field? All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. You're doing good stuff. I think so too. I think it is. I think it's very interesting. Okay. So, last thing I wanted to do the other day was actually to just double check here on the stat. So we wanted to put the impressions on October 16th over here. Let me see if we can find these. This was a superhost. Oh, nobody has access to this profile. Actually, this should be his profile, right? Or Charlie's profile. This the superhost profile.
Yeah, but that's-
Charlie's profile. Okay.
Is that even the profile that is superhost?
Is it
The only profile that is superhost? Really? Even the older.
The older ones, let me show you. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So that's the question, right? So we just share some surprise that our oldest profiles are not Superhost. One of the, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. We should be Superhost. Yes, I think we should aim to get Superhost status on every profile. I believe that there is something that is quite difficult to get Superhost at scale. I think that is a good challenge, right? That's a good performance metric. So can we get Superhost at scale? Let's take a look and see what our reservations currently look like. So we have occupancy reviews. Okay, let's take a look at the reviews. Okay. Overall rating needs to be above 4.8. So we're at 4.6 right now. Yeah. But once again, right, 4.8 when you have only 10 check-ins is easy. 4.8 when you have 1,000 is
It's really difficult to
pretty hard. Yeah. So this is a 4, and this happened just the other day, and this happened at okay. Beach Club Village lot 3 or lot 6. Yeah. Okay, so Wi-Fi speed was not that good. Okay. Right. So one of the things I think we can actually do is improve the range. This is a mesh router, right? Like this thing right here.
Yes, yes.
So
That's what I proposed to the managing party.
oh yeah,
And all our.
did I agree?
And he told me that he tried to talk to the owner.
Okay, she'll put it in. Put it in for sure.
Sir, hideouts request last week.
Yeah. What did I say? Yes. No.
Hello there, thank you for the invitation, but we are not interested.
Okay. All right. Done. All right. Whatever. Let them believe that they're awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. No, this is okay. All right. So 4.6. No, not Superhost. The bigger profiles are actually part of the Superhost for historical reasons too as well. Villa's splendid view in the middle of greenery. All right. Oh right. Superhost. Why is it hard to achieve Superhost status? 3 reasons. One, whenever we launch a listing based on the profile where it has the closest demographic fit. So, for example, if we launch a multi-bedroom villa in Vineyard, we will probably either put it on Jimmy Line or Lion, right? And so that's the only consideration for which profile we're putting on. Well, what if the first few reviews of that are not good? So what do? Do we take it down and put it on a different profile? So it's like it needs to belong somewhere. But I think in the future, what we can do is start migrating this dedicated superhost profile and just making sure only the best properties are on there. Once again, how do you know it's the best property in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So we have a sandbox right now, adventure accommodation. That's where all the very naughty profiles go, naughty listings. Oh, hey, welcome in, Alvin. All right, but okay, let's get back to revenue management. Okay, so let's take a look at how we're going to do revenue management today. All right, I'll start with a brain tease, right? So, by the way, if you have nothing else better to do, watch StatQuest. It's a pretty interesting YouTube series. I first started. Okay, let me show you what this began. Gradient boosted decision trees, right? So anybody know what that is? No, right? Because it's fucking crazy, right? So I first started knowing about this actually at Airbnb, and so I was like, okay, what is a gradient boosted decision tree? So Bayou and I were looking at this blog, and this blog is fairly interesting. It's written by the engineers who designed the Airbnb search algorithm. And so in the explanation of how they actually designed this algorithm, they talk about a gradient boosted decision tree. Okay, so what essentially a decision tree is, hey Dominic, welcome in. Okay, so basically, let me just kind of simplify this a little bit, and hey, we can call this machine learning build now. Yeah, okay, so we'll do machine learning. Okay, I'll go into a quick tangent before I come back to revenue management because I think this is interesting. Let's go to Alvin. Alvin, what do you think machine learning means?
It's how actually the machine use the algorithms from the user basically
Okay.
to give the best result or the most fit of result.
Okay, great. Let's go over to Josh. Josh, what do you think machine learning means?
Yeah, I think it's how we put all the machines to maximum performance to get the best outcome.
Okay, all right, let's go to Dominic. Dominic, what do you think machine learning means?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right, let's go to Vita. Vita, what do you think machine learning means?
Something that process the data.
Okay. Okay, let me tell a quick story on what machine learning is, right? So, machine learning, the closest answer was Alvin's answer. Machine learning is a way so that instead of having humans to write code to tell machines what to do, machines can look at the output of the code and then try to get better and better results themselves. So it's almost like the machine is writing its own code over time. Okay, so why do you need that? Why is that important? And this became important actually after these things started coming out. Okay, so what's happening now is that your phone is providing a shitload of data about you as a user to these services like Airbnb, Dropbox, Uber, Kojak, all these things. And what these things are called they're called log files. So a log file is essentially a record of whatever you're doing and however many times you're doing it. Okay, now that's great, right? You have all these log files. And so these log files are like, probably 100 columns by billions of rows of new fresh data coming in every day, right? From all the hundreds of millions of users. So once you have this, you're trying to figure out intelligence, you're trying to figure out insight, like what does the trend look like? So before, what you would do is what we're doing right now. You would hire data analysts. You would hire a data analyst, and this analyst would look at all this data and try to figure out, oh, okay, I figured out that the majority of people like to eat ayam geprek on Tuesdays, right? And so when somebody puts up an ayam geprek ad on Tuesdays, I will charge them more for that, right? Something like that. But the problem with that is this data is becoming so massive that there's no person that can actually sit there and analyze all the data anymore. So then somebody asked the question, well, can the computer analyze the data and tell us what's going on, right? And can it fix the situation itself and learn from its own mistakes? And the answer is yes now. And that's what machine learning is. It's a form of artificial intelligence, and it's a form of essentially correcting problems naturally through the computer's own decisions. Okay, now that's what we just said, right? The key word there is decisions. Let's zoom out a little bit. What is the difference, Vita, between a data analyst and a data scientist?
Data analyst, someone that read the data, and the data scientist is the one who pattern on the data.
Okay, wow, that's remarkable. Let's go to Alvin. Alvin, what's the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist?
Data scientist basically the one that create the data, and the data is the one that actually using the data that are being provided.
Okay. All right. Data scientist, Alvin, doesn't create the data, right? The data is being generated by the apps. The difference between a data scientist and a data analyst is a data analyst uses their own skills to, okay, so a data analyst is analyzing data for humans, right? So that humans can make decisions. For example, when we are data analysts right now for the owners. The owners come to us and they go, I wish they do this, but let's say in some future state, they would come, Gene, what is the price that I should sell my thing for? What's the forecast that you have for this? And I, as a data analyst, am going to give you information that helps you as an owner make a business decision, right? So that's the job of the data analyst. A data scientist creates a program that lets a machine make better decisions. Does that make sense? So the difference is that one person is serving people, the other person is serving machines. Okay, so quick run through now. Okay, that's a good intro because we kind of understand data analyst, data scientist. So when I was reading this report on Medium about Airbnb engineering, they talked about how Airbnb ranks listings, right? Now, if you think about listing rank, are listing ranks, should they be permanent or should they be dynamic? Vita, should a listing's ranking be permanent or dynamic?
Ranking?
Yeah. Dynamic. Okay, Vita thinks dynamic. Can you give me an example of a permanent ranking that is used in the world?
Permanent ranking for listing.
No, not for listings, but just an example of. Okay, so Airbnb is ranking their listings dynamically. What's an example of a permanent ranking? Microsoft for what? Office? Not quite. Visa?
Beyonce is a pop singer.
Sure. Okay, that can be a permanent ranking, right? If you receive an award or like a medal or something, that's a permanent ranking. If you get a Michelin star, that's permanent. I guess they can take it away if you suck, but yeah, that's essentially a fixed ranking. Once that ranking has been established, it's good. Now, let's ask ourselves a question. Do you think Airbnb as a service would be valuable if they had fixed rankings?
No.
No, why not, Rizal?
Because if everyone can use Airbnb, means there's a lot of people using Airbnb to make their listing to be number one.
Mhm.
So it's like when it fixed ranking, but just one
winner, yeah.
one winner.
Exactly. So then that stops what from happening?
Yeah.
And what is if you have only one winner? What does that stop? It stops.
Stop producing listing.
It stops competition. It stops innovation. Right. So this is what Yahoo used to do, and that's why Yahoo doesn't exist very much anymore. Yahoo used to have a fixed directory, and so if you were at the top of that directory, you would stay at the top forever. And so everybody's job was just to get that to be the top. But there was nothing you could do once they had already fixed the ranking, right? And so it didn't serve people very well. It didn't serve the people who were using Yahoo very well. And it's a little bit too much entitlement, right? Like once it's been fixed. So you need the rankings to be dynamic, right? In order to serve guests better. Okay, now here's the question then. Who organizes the ranking? Do you think people at Airbnb sit there and organize the ranking of each listing?
It's a computer.
The computer. So then how does the computer know in a dynamic ranking system if they're making the right ranking
Based on the data they receive.
based on the data receipt? All right, so you have essentially this. You have a ranking model. You have a way that the machine is using information to create a ranked list, okay? And then you have a test. You go out and you see if the guests are actually booking on this list of listings that you've ranked, okay? And you can set your KPIs for whatever you want. You can set booking rate, revenue, whatever, like the time to booking. You can set whatever it is, but once you have, let's say, KPI, then what will happen is this. It's a little bit of magic, right? So the machine model will take model A, and then it'll look at the audience, and it'll see what is the audience satisfaction score. Let's say the audience satisfaction score is, wait, no, let's use another KPI. Let's use a KPI of time to book. Let's say Model A got the person who's on the website to book in 1 minute. So it goes, okay, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get better. So then it will change the model A1 or A2, right? And then it'll look again at what the audience does. If the audience now makes a booking decision in 30 seconds, it goes, good, right? We'll keep A2 and then go A2.1, right? And then it'll look again at what the audience does. Let's say now it goes from 30 seconds to 45 seconds, so it went up. So it'll go back, right? So then it'll go back to A2.3 or something, right? It'll keep on essentially creating new models to then fit this audience performance better. And when it's, let's say, perfect, when it's already gone, let's say it goes all the way, uses all these different models and it sees the best time it could get was 15 seconds from the time that they looked at to the time of booking, then it keeps that model, and then that becomes the ranking model. But let's say all of a sudden Airbnb opens up a new market. They go to China, and now there's a huge influx of Chinese customers on the site. Well, let's say this model isn't working anymore. What will happen? The machine will change the model again, and it will recalibrate again, all automatically. Okay? And that's how the ranking system works on Airbnb. So it's essentially machine determined, and it's always dynamic, and even its own experiments are being compared to reality to adjust its own model. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Which is what we're doing manually right now for what? We're doing this manually now for what? What service does revenue management do? Where we're doing a manual version of that.
We want to make that automatically a revenue for next year.
Yes. Revenue forecast, right?
Yeah.
The forecast model we're doing manually right now. We create a forecast model. We see if the forecast is accurate. If it's accurate, then we keep the model, right?
Yeah.
If the model is not accurate, then we change the model again, and then we forecast again, and we see if we can reduce that error function. Okay, so anyhow, gradient boosted decision trees are that magic formula. The gradient boosted decision tree is actually how the machine then creates a decision pattern. So a decision tree is, if this happens, then do this, right? If that happens, then do something else, right? If this happens, so essentially what happens is that you create this decision tree, and gradient boost means that essentially it's looking for the best decision tree. That model that changes is a decision tree. So essentially, the machine is saying, all right, how am I actually going to get people to convert faster? I'm going to create a ranked list based on this. Everything that's above this price goes on this side. Everything that's below goes on this side. I'm going to interleave. And then you see if that tree is working. If that tree is working, then it's good. But okay, anyways, so that's a quick little segue into gradient boosting decision trees. If you want to learn more about it, go and check out StackClass. Okay? It is very fascinating how this can work, right? How you can automate even something as sophisticated as revenue forecast. Okay? All right, great, fantastic. So let's take a look and see what we've done. So now into the practical stuff. Alvin, show us your monthly projection report, Alvin. Ooh, exciting. I can't hear you, Alvin. We can't hear you, Alvin. Oh, right.
Yes?
Yes, now I can hear you. All good.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so basically I'm still using the previous one for product.
Okay.
The second one using the one-on-one purchase, and also most of it actually from the actually from the previous years we as average we can have a loss of 25%.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first estimation. We actually use this form basically because after this I'm gonna check it based on the area. So I'm gonna use to check on the availability of each area and also from this on the availability itself.
Okay.
So one basically some of the property actually get blocked by the owner. So if you see on the step 2 of the calculation, so this is my notes actually. After I check on the what's called on the area, I'm gonna update it again on the weekly sales. So on October until 25th or 24th or 22nd of October, I believe on weekly sales in total for October it's 41,800.
Mhm.
So using that, I will use the same one-to-one difference, basically 25% loss. And actually the distribution is gonna be around 50,000 of weekly sales. So like that. So pretty much that's what I have in mind right now. This is still like what's called prototype.
Oh, like that it is. Okay.
And I still have scratch a little bit. But what actually I also work is regarding the what's called the distribution.
Okay.
Actually, expecting what's kind of like linear for the different cells. So if you see on the left part of the this is for the opponent.
Yep.
So if you see on the top part of it, the one below
Below?
the below one, the step number four.
Here.
Yes, no, sorry, the step number the fourth step.
Fourth step. Okay. All right. Going to step 4.
Step, so the area is supposed to be later, but actually I'm going to check. Like now, see, I'm also using the forecast, but actually from the tableau. But once again, from the tableau on the stats, it's not necessarily right because one of it, there's a lot of change either on the top of the anything else. But other than that, basically, wait, I'm kind of preparation. Could you try to open the top step then? I'm going to open the tab. Area assessment. Where did I put it? Question. Sorry, question. I don't open the question. I can't remember it. Yes. Okay, so sorry. So this is for estimation basically. If you're using the previous one, basically a linear with 40%, 50%, 11%, 9%, this will be the sum that we have to achieve for each weeks. And
Okay.
the second estimation is basically using the same with actually what happened on October.
Okay.
25%, 30%, and 70% of that done.
Okay.
Once again, this is just still scratch for me.
Okay.
I'm still working until today right
Okay.
now, just to check the area assessment.
Okay. Sounds good, Alvin. I'm just going to go ahead and delete the chi-square model because that didn't have anything to do with that. Okay.
Sure.
Let's take a look and. All right, Alvin. I have a few questions for you. For this, do you mean the starting revenue for November?
Pardon?
Is this supposed to be the starting revenue for November?
Sorry, I'm using a template for this paper.
Okay.
So that's why I'm still not editing some of it.
Okay.
I have a template for this, so I just can't do the editing so I don't forget.
Okay, got it. So, okay, you created a revenue projection based on starting points. The starting point is actually pretty high at 84 right now. And what is your end estimate that we'll get to 100 on the first iteration, right?
That's first estimation.
Okay.
I believe we can reach higher than that.
I think so too. I think so. Yeah, we're just starting at 84 already. Okay, so let's just take a look at maybe what the weekly sales would be. Probably reach that by the first week if we get at least the same that we got in October. Okay, Alvin, do you have any questions about this?
Actually, for now, still not because I'm still gonna make a script everything. I just
Okay.
want to make sure. I just try every method that I can find.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Alvin on this particular method? No? Okay. All right. Interesting. Thank you, Alvin. I think we'll need to clean this up a little bit because there is a lot of distracting signals. I can't try it. I know what is from the original template and what is actually new to this. But okay. All right. Thank you, Alvin. Let's go to the next piece of work here. It's coming from Rizal. All right. Show us what you got, Rizal.
For the user.
Didn't get done. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right, no worries. Let's go to, let's see. Did anybody else, Gani? Is Gani here? Ah, wait. Give the double. That's fucking crazy. That was crazy, Gani. I was just talking about you. I was like, next is Gani, and then you showed up. All right, Gani, perfect. Buya Pilas, tell us what you did.
Okay, for your villas, I set the price about 230.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm a little bit forget. I always update on PRM.
Okay.
For this week, I don't check it. I
Okay.
checked it last week, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Buyuk Pila. So what we're gonna do? Oh, bigger stats, yeah. It's the same. Bayou got rid of the so that people like me would still be able to. Ah, come on! Sorry, jeez, this is so frustrating. Okay. Catalina makes things slower. I swear to God, it's weird. Okay, wait. I'm gonna close everything. I'm gonna close WhatsApp. WhatsApp is my die WhatsApp, die. Okay, all right. That's a big memory hog. And then, okay. Oh, well, good news. I have bigger stats over here, so we can just take a look at that. Gunny, can I ask if you can open the PRM for Squad 4, and we'll take a look at what
Yes.
Buyuk Pila looks like, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Oh, sorry, please. Okay. I can't make up my mind. Okay. Okay, all right, I'm gonna tranquilize. Okay, in the meantime, while we wait for Buyuk Pila, who's next? Dominic, which beat are you working on?
I'm just working on Kanban.
Okay, all right. Let's take a look at Kanban. Okay. Okay, Dominic, can you do this? Can you load up your PRM and also your the Toki for Kanha? We'll take a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm very slow now. All right, I'm not slow. My computer's slow. Okay. Come on, go away. Close. Okay, close. Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's Aka. Ah! It can't be this slow. It cannot be this. This is painful. It's happening. It is really weird. And it appeared just got really slow after I upgraded. Don't upgrade to Catalina! Don't upgrade it! After I upgraded Catalina, everything on it's the new Mac OS. It's the new operating system now. It's becoming like intolerable. Pila. Buyuk Pilas. Okay, let's take a look at the stats on Buyuk Pilas. How many units at Buyuk Pilas? Johnny?
4.
4. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at the booking
Yeah,
pace. Excellent. 4. All right. Oh, it's October 29th already. 4. So, Josh, is this an acceptable booking pace for Buyuk Pila? Visa. Do you agree with Josh?
Are we talking about the last 7 days?
Uh-huh.
I think it is.
Okay. Is it good or is it great or is it too great?
It's great.
Okay. Nani, what do you think about the booking pace?
Yeah, based on the start, I think it's good because the last week we have 9, 6, 8, 10, above 12, yeah, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why it says 19.
Yeah,
Is it
pretty
19?
good.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we have 13. What is the range that we should get for something like Buyuk Pila with 4 rooms? What's the range?
3 times 4, 12
12. Yeah.
and week.
Okay, so about 12. So we know the booking pace is healthy. Gani, okay, let's take a
Yes,
look at, can we see the calendar of Buyuk Pila? Alvin.
Okay.
Is there a deadline actually that make the best our last minute discount and apply it for quick us?
Okay, the question is there a gap night that has been applied? Alvin, who are you addressing the question to, Alvin? Who's my name?
Actually, I'm not applying the cap night.
Oh no?
It's just overall dates
Okay.
on October.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's take a look and see what happened. Buyupilas. Buyupilas. Does anybody know what that means? Buyupilas? No. Okay. It means gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. Gobbledygook is a kid language that means nothing. This is like noise. Gobbledygook.
Onomatopoeia.
Huh?
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
No?
Gobbledygook. Oh no. Okay. Anyway. Okay. All right. I think. What the devil just happened there? Oh wait. Somebody else is sharing their screen. Okay. We're looking at Kanha now. Sorry. Buyuk. It's taking forever to load. Oh, Jesus Christ, what happened here? Ah! Alright, here we go. Okay, Gunny, let's take a look. Oh, we don't have exclusive here. The owner's putting in his own guest, yeah? Oh, wait. No?
No, it's from us.
Oh, yeah?
It's overbooking this.
Nice. Okay, good work. I'm not sure if that's good work, but okay. Let's take a look. So, I'm kind of confused because, okay. So, Gunny, when did you make the price change for Buyupilas?
Okay, based on PRM, I made change on the October 17th.
Okay.
I'm increased the rates for Airbnb 230 and for Booking.com 250.
So you increased the rates.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's incredible. Now, just from that, did Gunny make the right decision, or did he not make the right decision on increasing the rates?
I think we made the right decision because based on the booking that we received, it shows us a lot of booking.
Right, there's a lot of bookings that came in. Okay, how much did we go up on Gunny on the 17th? Right? How? What was the price before, and what's the price after?
Okay, so sorry, at October 11,
Uh-huh.
it is 200, sir,
200. Okay.
for Airbnb, yeah,
Okay.
and then at October 17th,
Uh-huh.
I increased into 230.
Okay, so we went from 200 to 230. Okay, interesting.
Yes,
All right, let's take a look and see if that was working or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an analysis. So I'm going to do a availability analysis, right, on the, let's say, 10 days after the pricing was changed and the 10 days before. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to count. So count every white space with me, team. So this is 1, 2. Actually, no, count every line because we sell it even. Right? It's like the line. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right. Okay. So 19 room nights unfulfilled. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
I think the overbooking is also counted because it's supposedly it's empty, so that's why we can put the overbooking.
Oh, right. So the overbooking also count, right? So okay, how much was that? 19. Okay, 19 plus 4 times 2, which is 8, which is 27, right? Okay, so there's 27 available room nights on the days after the pricing was applied. Okay? Make sense? All right, let's go over here and look at the 10 days before the pricing was applied. So we'll go from 17 to 7 and see how many room nights were there. Why am I doing this, Josh? Why am I looking at the empty room nights before the price was applied versus the empty room nights after the rates were applied?
So we can analyze whether the new price affects the occupancy or not.
Right. So we're going to take a look at the occupancy before and after. If the occupancy trade-off was higher after, let's say, yeah, we got more sales, but we had more empty room nights, then we would know. All right, I have my answer already, right? That's why I'm laughing. Okay, let's see how many room nights there are on the 10 days before the price change. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, so 7 room nights. Is Dominic talking to me or? I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, okay. There's 7 room nights unsold, right? Before, and there's 27 room nights unsold after. Okay. So what I'm going to just assume, right? This is an assumption. Is I'm going to take a look and assume that had we not changed the price, we would just have 7 unsold room nights after. Okay? Make sense? All right. So then let's take a look at what the potential loss was, right? So 20 room nights unsold, right? Due to the difference in price, multiplied against the lower price at 200,000 is probably a 4 million loss in terms of what we've lost, right? In terms of unsold room nights. Okay, let's try to figure out how many bookings we took after the 17th and see how much we gained, right? And then if we gain more than what we lost, then that was a good decision. But if we gain less than what we lost, well, then not good. Right? Make sense? I did a little bit of magic here. Josh, why did we use 20 here to estimate the amount of lost room nights?
I think it's the 27 nights after we changed the price,
Uh-huh.
and then minus 7 nights before we changed it.
But why do we minus the 7 nights before we changed it? No. Okay. All right. Pizza. Why do we subtract the 7 nights from the before?
Because the 7x is the, how do I say this? That's the number that is can't be fulfilled.
Right. Right. The 7 nights represent what isn't fulfilled at the previous price anyway. Right. So even if you kept the previous price, you would still have 7 nights available. Right. 7 nights unfilled. So when you change the price, you can't just take a look at all 27 room nights. You have to account for, even if you kept the same price, you would still probably have 7 nights. Okay, all right, so we have 4 million here of basically unsold room nights. And then how do we figure out what the number of additional revenue we got was for the price increase? How do we figure that out? Yeah, how do we figure out how much benefit we got from more revenue from the sales after the price increase?
Previous price, the new price minus the previous.
No.
I think you should count how many bookings we received.
Yes. Yes. So we can take a look at here and count the number of bookings that happened within the month that we received, then multiplied by 30,000, right?
Oh.
Because then that would tell us how much additional revenue we got that wasn't there. Okay, and it's not strictly within the month, it's within the check-in date before the 27th, right? So, okay, let's take a look at that. This is 1, this counts because this was a check-in day on the 19th. This is 2, it counts because it's for a check-in date on the 22nd. This counts because it's for 23rd. So this is 4, wait, someone's going to count with me, right? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. This one doesn't count because it's outside. It's on the 28th, right? We only count 10 days ahead and 10 days before. Okay? So how many is that? 8. Okay? So 8 times 30,000. Gunny looks sad. Gunny. Okay, so what does this mean? Yes, ultimately, it was not the right decision to increase the price because the benefit was only about 240,000, but the loss was 4 million. All right. If you can get an owner to understand that, I think they will see why it's never worthwhile to get a little bit more and lose what they could have gotten on most of the rental. Make sense? Does that clear for everyone? Okay, Alvin, what do you think we could have done instead?
Uh, we even
Alvin, you muted up.
I'm not really sure actually from now.
Okay.
Actually, even if we can keep the price, we should know first actually how actually to keep this previously when we still using the old price.
Yes. Okay. So Alvin's right. Alvin, if we had kept the old price at 200,000, maybe it would have been empty anyway, right? So if we really want to know, what the performance would have looked like if we kept the price, is there a way that we can tell? Yes, the answer is yes. Gani, what is the closest equivalent property to Bukit Vista?
The closest property is Picadia.
Okay, what we're gonna
Yes,
do
Picadia.
is we're gonna look at Picadia. Did we change prices at Picadia? Did anybody change prices at Picadia?
No,
No.
not me.
Okay, nobody, right? Okay, so this is what we're looking for. If we look at Picadia, and if it looks full all the way through, then that means that essentially that could have happened here too, right? So if we didn't change the price and it was full, that would more or less say that the price change and not seasonality affected the lower occupancy after the 17th. But if we look at Picadia and effectively it starts slowing down towards after the 17th anyways, then that would mean that it would have lost anyways, right? There was no gain. Okay, so let's take a look at Picadia. Do we look at booking pace or do we look at the calendar?
The calendar.
The calendar. Look at the calendar.
Yes.
No, look at the calendar. Oh, we can look at the booking pace too. Actually, let's start with both. What would you expect on Picadia on the booking pace?
Fully booked on the dates.
Okay, let's take a look at Picadia and see what the booking pace looks like. After the 17th, very little bookings, yeah? So probably more empty then. Okay, let's take a look at the calendar then. What the fuck? Okay. Too many direct bookings. Fuck. That's what. Okay. Basically, full the whole time, right? Is that pretty conclusive then? Yeah? Yeah, Gunny's like, oh, hey, don't worry about Gunny, your secret is safe with us, right? And whoever else watches this.
Until it's uploaded on YouTube.
Until it's uploaded. But it's okay. I think, you know what? This is a mistake only if you analyze it. Most owners would think that you did the right thing, right? Most owners would be like, good, we got extra money. Yeah, you got 250 more, but you lost 4 million. So, but when you can show them this, then they go, oh, okay, they're not raise prices. And this is the economics of a price change, right? Understanding. Is this pretty clear? So Picadia, we didn't change the price, and it was pretty much fully booked all the way across. So we could have expected pretty much the same thing happen at Bukit Vista, right? But because we changed the price of Bukit Vista, yes, we got a few additional sales, but we probably lost a lot of the gaps that were there. Okay, great. Is that a cool analysis? You guys like that analysis? Yes, Gabby.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Based on the calendar on Bukit Vista,
Mhm.
I see that before I change the price, the calendar is it's quite packed. There is many bookings.
Yeah.
And then so I increase the price. I mean, that's we usually do, right? Increasing, then
You're right.
we increase the price, but I didn't think that it's a fact that we can lose many. Yeah. So,
Okay, I don't
I don't
disagree.
know.
I don't disagree with Gani at all. I agree that the correct motion should have been to increase the price because the booking price was really high, right? And the calendar was getting really packed. And yes, that is a good sign to increase the price. But what I would like to ask is maybe it was a little bit too much, right? Let's say it's about a 15% increase, which doesn't seem that ridiculous, right? I don't know. I don't know. I guess what it means is maybe not a 15% increase, maybe a 5% increase or whatever it could be. Yes, I do believe that price changes can happen, but we also know that if it's too sharp of a rise, too short of a time, it probably doesn't lead to good results. We're also cruising into lower and lower season right now, right?
Yes.
So I would suggest maybe this is great. So we know where the problem is. The problem is not in raising the price. The problem is probably in raising the price at 15%. So if we had raised the price maybe at 5%, we would still get all the bookings and we would get an extra 5%, right? But maybe that's not very interesting or not very sexy or whatever, but that's okay because I think you should always raise prices slowly. Like, it's like your Bakso guy, right? He raises the price and he doubles it in one day, you stop going. But if he creeps on you a little bit, like 1,000 every 3 months, 1,000 every 3 months, you sort of just get used to it. And then at the end of the year, you're paying like maybe 5,000 more. But it just happened kind of slowly and progressively. Yeah? So I think that's pretty competitive also in Nusa Penida that essentially that 30,000 can go from yes to no, right?
Yes.
Like that's the kind of people we're dealing with over there, bunch of degenerates. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm not gonna.
Good to know.
But this is why we do this, right? Why we do this is to figure out what's the logic. All right, Dominic, this is your show now. Kanha, let's take a look at that. What are we doing at Kanha? Kanha is actually a pretty interesting game. Yes, Dominic would agree. Dominic, talk to us. Tell us about Kanha.
So actually, I already try to lowering the price as low as I can. I already make like weekly rates. Also, I already make a monthly rate for this month. But I think it's working since we got one last week, but not really worth that much.
Okay. Let's take a look at Kanha. Kanha.
Okay.
She lost your voice.
I think I'm losing my voice. Yeah. Too much drinking. All that scotch last night. I drank a lot of scotch last night. Yeah.
Bad practice.
Yeah, bad practice. Yeah, don't drink scotch. Okay, so, all right. Looks like Kanha's. Would you say that we are doing better at Kanha recently or worse?
I think it's better because before we almost got one booking about.
Yeah, this is bad. You see this big gap from October 17th to the 26th? That's essentially 10 days. We almost got kicked out of this one. Ibu Yuli called me and she's like, "What's going on? Why is my villa so empty?" I was like, "Is it?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yup." And then she said, I'd like to give it to another agency to take a better look at that. I was like, "No, you don't need to do that. We'll make sure this works." So effectively, yeah, we didn't get any bookings for quite a long stretch, and that resulted in quite a lot of gaps. We've been able to fill in some, but also we got quite a few more gaps there. But the good news is, I think we got a November booking, yeah, Dominic?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a pretty sizable one too, right? November 8th. Okay, right here. And let's take a look at the length of stay for that November booking. Okay, what is the price of Kanha now? Let's see.
Sorry, sir?
Dominic, what's the price of Kanha? 350,000. Oh, Dominic, just what's that called? What's it called? What's it? Escape from Bahasa Indonesia? Kabur, yeah, Dominic Kabur. Dominic's back again. Okay, so we're setting the prices now at 700. Yeah, wow, that is a deal. That is a deal. Oh right, I know who booked the 8th. That was my friend Nai. He's coming for the host conference, so he just booked. Yeah, thank you, Nai. Yeah, that was yeah. He might cancel though because He's looking for a bigger villa now. But hey, at least it helped. I know. You like that, Alvin? Ha 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 ha. I'll recommend him Bahagya now. But yeah. But no matter what, I think we got the booking pace back up again, so that part is pretty healthy, right? Just need to get the rest of these nights sold. Okay. We're almost out of time. Let's see. Okay, I need somebody to work on some revenue management beats for me. Let's see. Does anybody have the Squad 1 CRM open? No? Okay. I'll open that myself. I'm going to give everyone some homework and just work on it, and we'll see what the results are tomorrow. Right? We'll discuss what what the fuck? What? I hate this. It's so annoying. I'm already recording on the other machine. Okay. Unbelievable. Okay.
It's already open in my.
Oh yeah? Okay. That's good. Okay. It's done. Okay. Alright, let's take a look. Who's doing Mujimba? Let's take a look. Mujimba. Alvin! Alvin's doing Mujimba. Okay. Okay, Alvin, we'll take a look at Mujimba tomorrow and see what updates you have. Lot 3 is mine. Lot 6 is mine. Mine! I'm not sharing with anybody. No, lot 5. Okay, I got lot 3, 5, and 6. Let me give Vita a try at this. You want to try this? Vita? Okay, Vita. Price of beachfront villa. So I'm going to assign Vita to it. And this will just be for fun tomorrow, and we can take a look. And Vita can use her ultra cool revenue management skills to make a decision on lot 6. Okay, we'll put that there. We'll take a look at Mujimba tomorrow too as well. Dominic, I'm going to give you some of Chantik's, maybe not Chantik. Dominic, which properties are you working on right now?
Timbalan area Arindra.
Okay, Arindra.
Yeah.
Don't
And
they?
some of
Okay, where is Arindra? Arindra. Oh, here it is. Arindra. Okay, so almost Halloween. Almost Halloween. Okay. Ooh, exciting. Okay, Arindra. Okay, and let's see. Rizal, what are you looking at tomorrow? Villa Shanti.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give that a shot.
So it's a bedroom and stay bedroom, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh wait, Alvin's not working on Villa Shanti. Okay. All right, not Villa Shanti then. Risky's here. Risky's not working on it. Okay, who's on? Okay, recruitment's not on it either. Okay, so we'll give you Villa Bodas, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, somebody's working on Villa Bodas. Wait, Dominic's on Bodas. Right? Okay, I don't know what to do. Oh, wait, Bing and Luna. Here, I'll give you Bing and Luna. I'm working on Bing and Luna traditionally, so I'll shift that over to Rizal, and we will see what Rizal will do. Okay. Josh, which one do you want to work on? Josh? Good stuff. Just for fun? Yes. Alvin.
Mas Jos, I believe Mas Jos interested to training on BSL.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna training with him.
Okay, Bing and Surf left. Surf. Okay, great. So we'll move that over tomorrow too. Okay. So, all right, everybody, do your assigned beats, and we'll all report back tomorrow and take a look at what happened. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Happy revenue management, and continue making that money grow. Make it rain. Okay, that's it, guys. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Bye-bye. Okay, bye. 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 It's okay, Connie. That was good. Never settle.